How to change spark plugs on a 2006 SRT8 or any 6.1 Hemi. First thing you want to do is buy spark plugs. I went with NGK 92174. They're nickels. Copper would have gained me a little bit more power, but the copper ones go out a little bit sooner, so I went with nickel ones instead. And yep, 16 of them. I also bought the anti-seize and the connector grease. Oh, here we pop the hood. I just got done driving my Jeep, so I'm actually gonna let it cool down for a minute. And while we wait, we'll grab a refreshment. Yeah, buddy. Tools you'll need: standard ratchet, 5/8, spark plug socket with a rubber grommet in there so it holds the plug, and then an 8mm to get your coil packs off. When you get your plugs, they should come pre-gapped from the factory. If you're not sure what your gap is, look up here, right on the sticker, tells you 0.50. Then you get yourself a old school spark plug gapper here, and we slide them on to there and check to see if the gap is correct. If not, make the adjustment. Alright, so take the plug out your box. And then slide the plug on there up. See, this is gapped at 40. We need to go over to 50. So you just wiggle it back and forth a little bit and slide it down the plug until you're right there. Now we're at 50. Plug is gapped correctly. Now that one can go in. And next step, pull this cover off. Boom. Gives you access to your dual coil packs and your plugs below it. Filter. Engine is still hot. I'm just doing it anyways. There we go. Now you're ready to pull your plugs. And as you guys saw, I pre-gapped all 16 of these. They're all at the current 50 thousandths gap. I'm just gonna wait for it to cool off a little bit more before I start turning wrenches. This is the 8mm bolts you'll be undoing, top and bottom, all the way across the board, and then pulling each plug out of there. And then the same thing on this side. Alright, first things first, I was wrong. Those are a 10, not an 8. They also have some sort of lock washer on them that prevents them from falling out, so you can unbolt them all the way and they just stay inside of the coil pack. Always inspect the inside of the coil packs. Got some connector grease in there still. And then the 2 holes for the plugs. Now I'm going to pull a plug out and show you the difference between a good one and a bad one. Yep. Where's the plug? There we go. Oh yeah. We've been running some race fuel in this bad boy. See how there's hardly a tip left on that? And then on one of these new ones, see how that tip looks much, much better comparatively? That's what we're switching for. Alright, so we take just a tiny bit of our anti-seize and throw it on the threads right there. That's all the more anti-seize you're going to need. You can rub it around with your finger if you want, or you could just leave it on there, because as soon as you start to screw it in, it's going to spread it around the threads anyways. And then on this end, we squeeze just a tiny bit of conductor grease, or connector grease, sorry. And then we shove it in there, just like that. And we do that 15 more times. All right, that's one side done, one side to go. I don't know if you guys noticed, it's kind of hard to see in that hyperlapse, but because I had to stick this end of the plug into the socket with the grease on it, the dielectric grease, which that's the word I was looking for earlier instead of connector grease, dielectric grease. I stuck some across the boots, so when the boots slid on, there was extra grease on the boot too to make sure the connection was good. And yeah. Now repeat the same process on this side where things are a little tighter. All right, got my covers back on, everything done. Now it's time to start it, make sure got everything put back correctly. Oh yeah, purrs like a kitten. No problems at all. Yep, all 16 plugs. Done.